Welcome to the Podcart, a podcast in a golf cart while we're playing golf. All right, so Andy, you're in the Orlando area.
Yep.
Welcome to the Podcart, a podcast in a golf cart while we're playing golf. This is for local business owners and industry professionals. So today I've got Andy Neal with the agency from Orlando. Andy, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Andy Neal, Orlando, Florida, originally from just outside London in the UK. Down here to check out this lovely place and talk about some real estate and see what's going on.
So you're gonna see some tee box shots and a lot of chat in the golf cart, hence the Podcart. Stay tuned, keep watching and enjoy.
See you in a bit.
All right, so Andy, you're in the Orlando area.
Yep.
And you live in Windermere.
Yep.
How about you tell everyone what's happening in the general Orlando market and then kind of get a bit more hyper-local with Windermere?
Yeah, generally there's a lot of migration coming to Orlando. Obviously, lots of medical. The obvious is Disney, SeaWorld, Universal. So a lot of job relocations. Market in general is probably about a 75-day average to sell a house across greater Orlando area. And there's lots of inventory, a lot. I mean, personally, we're sitting here in mid-June. I've listed 13 houses in the last 2 weeks myself as a solo agent. So you can see that gives you an idea on the sort of inventory levels we're seeing. But if you come down to Windermere, it's a lot less than that because the average price point's over $1 million and it's a lot less. It's more of a micro market, so there's a lot less inventory at higher price points.
Gotcha. And what is the average days on market right now for the greater Orlando area?
Yeah, just under 70, so around 70 days.
Okay. So yeah, Sarasota County's dropped off quite a lot. We've lost a lot of inventory. Yeah. In certain zip codes, we're down like 40%.
Wow.
So there's been a big shift there. However, it's all about price at the end of the day, and I'm sure that's exactly the same thing in your market.
Yep. Same. Windermere, you can still pay over the asking price because it's such a small area that's not growing anymore. Mm-hmm. It's only the teardowns that you see that where you can really make any money, but you've got to be paying over the odds. I just saw one recently, we had to pay over the asking price, even though the appraiser come in and downvalued it a little bit, but we still had to go back and say, right, we'll meet you in the middle.
Because there's too many demand and players in the game.
It's tough. Windermere's a tough market. Yeah. 34786 zip code, everyone wants to be in it because it's only going upwards. Right. Yeah, it's like 34240 for us is probably, in my opinion, the hottest zip code. Some will say it's some of the Lakewood Ranch zip codes, but just based on the inventory, average price, and all of that stuff, the stats say that's it. So, right, I live in 34240, so I'm biased. Yeah, well, I understand. But in Windermere, you can buy a house on a golf course, or you can buy a house on a lake, and the prices vary so much. Right. We've got the chain of lakes. We've got 13 interconnected lakes, and you can pay $3 million for just the dirt on the lake. You know, so you think then it costs $1 million or $2 million to build it. So you're at $5 million until you've moved in. It's incredible.
Yeah. So buyers doing that have, just like everyone rebuilding on their keys here after the hurricanes and stuff, you got to be really careful of what you've acquired the land for. Mm-hmm. And even if you own the land previously and the house had to get scraped, then building the right house on the lot so you're not technically underwater by the time you move in.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a reality. The thing, I think Windermere, you can swallow it because it will grow in time. I mean, you ask most people up there, Windermere is the only place in Orlando, maybe Winter Park and a couple of others, that grows, not exponentially, but it grows when others don't.
Right.
It's an area
insulated.
That's protected. Yeah, absolutely right.
Well, cool. Yeah. We'll jump into more questions after the next hole.
Let's do it.
So that's hole 2 over and done with. We're waiting to tee off at 3.
Hopefully.
So we went over all the, briefly touched on numbers and stats and stuff like that, which I like because I'm an analytical nerd.
Yeah.
But tell the guys a little bit more about yourself, because obviously you've got an accent, I've got an accent.
Yeah.
But you, different from me, I was more on the investment side in the UK, but you actually have your own agency, or as we call here, a brokerage. Do you want to tell them about that?
Yep. So I've been doing this, 26 years now. Started in 2000, but opened my own office in 2009. Andrew and Coast Agents back in Kent, southeast of England. I grew that to 5 offices and a large property management company. But it got difficult to run it from here, selling 500-600 houses a year, managing 30 full-time staff it was a challenge.
Right.
So I ended up doing a buyout agreement with my friend who bought 3 of my offices off me and the property management company. And I kept 2, which I still own today. So I own a company called Warner Gray in the southeast, and we do primarily £700,000 upwards, country sort of houses, old stuff.
Yep.
15th, 16th century, which people over here are amazed at when they hear this house is actually that old in the world. So we sell that sort of thing. So I still manage that now. I have a guy that runs it for me and a team of 9 people. So it's self-managed. We've built the structures and things to make it so I don't need to be there. And then over here, I just joined the agency in December of last year, 25, from a small brokerage that me and my father-in-law owned together. Because I needed a brand behind me. I lost a listing once in Windermere because I didn't have a big brand behind me, and the seller there really thought it's about the brand, where our job over here in America is all about us, right? As single agents. But that resonated a little bit, that it's about you, but I also want the global exposure that big brand can give us, especially at this sort of value house. It was about $3 million, so it's a nice price point. And I lost that because if I had a brand, I think I would have won it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I need to think about this. So I sat on it for about 6 months and decided to leave and join the agency in December, and it's been great ever since.
Yeah, you've been knocking out the listings, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So going back to the UK, I think just to educate the viewers here, maybe I've got buyers, sellers watching this, other realtors, trying to explain how buying a house in the UK works is very, very different to the US. For example, you viewers, if you are a buyer, you can't use the agent you want. Do you want to just go into that?
Yeah, so my company is called Warner Gray. So we have an office. There'll be 6, 7, 8, 9 other offices in the same town as us. Because in England, you've got to remember that we have towns.
Yep.
Not like over here, if it's spread out. So you have a collection of agents in the town. If I'm a buyer, you'll go to my office and say, hey, I've seen a house, I want to see it, I want to arrange a showing on that house. I'll meet you at the house, I'll show it to you, and then you might go down the street and see another house listed with you, right, and you'll show them the house. So the buyer can meet 2 to 10 different agents in one day and see 10 different houses with 10 different people.
Right.
Because there's no buyer representation, it's just seller representation.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so obviously you've worked both sides now. You've also been a buyer, you've been a seller stateside as well. How does that difference, of actually having representation, make you feel like, if you're putting your consumer shoes on?
It's much better because I'm protected. My interests are being looked out for by someone else, not just me. Don't get me wrong, I'll look out for my best interest as a buyer or a seller, but if I've got someone that's an expert doing it for me, that's a double cushion to know that I'm making the right decisions.
Yeah.
So in England, you've got no representation. If I'm making a bid on a house, I know that the person I'm putting the offer forward to as the agent, all they care about is getting the best deal for the seller, not me. So I'm literally fighting against 2 people to win the deal. Whereas over here, I've got someone in my corner helping me. So it's much better over here, in my opinion. Yeah.
And no, I would agree with that all day long. And yeah, for you guys that always feel like you're getting the best deal if you go direct to the list agent as well, that essentially what we just discussed is pretty much what happens.
100%.
Yeah. No.
As a listing agent, my number one goal is to get the best price for my client, not for the buyer, for my client.
Yeah.
And that's what we're paid to do. That's why it's worth paying a buyer's broker to represent you, because they will ultimately get you the best deal out there and stop you from getting caught up in any legalities that you don't know about or anything that might go wrong.
It's being a fiduciary at the end of the day,
100%.
Which is our number one responsibility.
Yep, 100%.
All right, let's go hit some balls.
Yep, let's do it.
going back to the comparisons of UK real estate to the US, let's talk about how long it takes to close, because I don't think the average American understands how amazingly lucky they've got it, and it's probably one of the very few countries that we can transact in 30 days or less. Heck, if it's non-deed restricted in a non-HOA community, you can close in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we could give you cash.
Yeah. So
in England, if you're lucky, if you're super lucky, you might get it done in 2 months. That's if you're really lucky.
With no chain, that's like Brian and New build at the end of the day.
And you're a cash buyer.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Average is about 3 months to 4 months on average.
Yeah.
Some can take longer. Depends, because you can, in England, it's very common for me to buy your house, you to buy that guy's house, and so on. And it could be 2 to 8. I've had 10 in a chain once. And the problem is, if one of those people decides, I don't want to buy anymore, they can walk away, the whole chain collapses. Because until you get to point of exchange of contracts, which is a week before closing, 3-4 months down the line, anyone can change their mind for any reason with no penalties.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very long process. And every buyer has got their own lawyer, and every seller got their own lawyer. So you might have 10 buyers, but there's 20 lawyers in one transaction, and all right in between each other and dealing with each other. It's an absolute mess, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so
there's a reason why it is like it is here, because of how bad it is in the UK.
Yeah, and it's the same in other countries. My mum lives in Turkey. They bought a house in Turkey. They walked in with cash, their buyer, and had one document. They both signed the document, exchanged the money, and it was done. Literally in a few days. I mean, that's probably a bit too soon.
Yeah,
I'm sure but yeah, it doesn't need to be as long as it does in England. It's too. So you think about what agents earn. So our guys are on 1 to 1.25 if we're lucky per sale. Yeah. So we have to sell a lot of houses to make any money. So if you're working 3 months, 4 months, and then it collapses, all that time and effort you've put in for nothing. And if it does close, you're talking 1% on average price point of about 700,000. So you don't make a huge amount of money in the UK.
Well, and your agents are salaried,
all salaried, right? 9 full-time staff on salaries, big salaries, and then a small percentage based on what the office turns over every month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very, very different to the UK.
And we also, in the UK, have to be on Rightmove and Zoopla, the equivalent of Zillow and Realtor.com.
Yep. There's no MLS.
There's no MLS. But we have to pay. So my monthly cost to be on Rightmove alone is about $8,000 when you do the conversion. Plus I've got to pay another $3,000 to be on Zoopla. So that's £10,000 or $10,000 a month. Probably about pounds, just to be on 2 websites. And if you're not on them, sellers won't use you because of no MLS. You have to be on Rightmove, and that's one of the first questions a seller asks: are you on Rightmove? Yeah. If you're not,
you're out of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as much as people dislike the MLSs, the MLS system,
much better.
Trust me, you don't want it to be how it is in the UK. Trust us.
No, you don't.
There's reasons English people move to America, and part of it is it's too much of a hassle to put a roof over your head. I deal with it every day on both countries, and I know where I'd rather be, and that's why I'm here. There we go. Yeah. So next hole, let's go. So we've covered the UK, US difference in real estate now, Andy. Let's jump into like your favorite spots of Orlando, or specifically the Windermere area that you live, and why. All right. Windermere is quite small. We don't have much there, I'll be honest. We have a lot of realtors' offices. We have a small little town. But just recently, in January, they opened up a wine bar called Solvino. Now, the idea behind it is that to get somewhere nice in Windermere, you go to Isleworth or Kings Point, which are 2 country club golf courses. Right. To get a social membership is a minimum of $60,000. So people don't want to pay it. So Solvino opened as a wine bar for members only, which is a lot less to join, and it's a lot less every month. And that's a really nice place to go and eat. Just hang out, have a glass of wine, Sunday lunch, or an evening meal. There's a brewery in Windermere, which I like. It's the Windermere Brewing Company. It's really nice as well. Craft beers, things like that. And if you want something a bit cooler, there's a little town next to us called Gotha. And there's a place there called the Yellow Dog, which is like, it's almost like you go into the restaurant. It's like an outdoor area and indoor, but it's like being in the Keys. It's really cool, great food. So it's a nice little spots. But if you really want a nice meal, you'd go to Sand Lake Road, Dr. Phillips, where you've got hundreds of restaurants. Nice. So we're sport for choices. All right, and then before we, because we're almost up to hit, top 3 golf courses in your area and why? Isleworth, number 1, country club. Hard to get on. I've only played 3 times in 10 years I've lived there because it's members only. It's about $240,000 a year to join it. So it's well out of my league. And there's a massive wait list, but I've
been lucky enough to play it 3 times. I played it a couple of weeks ago, and it's just stunning. It was at one point the 13th highest country club rating in the US.
Nice.
After that, I'd say Orange County National. There's 2 courses there. They had the Live tournament there a couple of years ago. You've played there with me before. Really nice place. And I really like Shingle Creek.
That's played there with you as well.
And in the Waldorf Astoria as well, which is quite cool. So we're sport for choice. There's so many courses I can go on, but I'd say Isleworth and Orange County are my probably top 2.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny, this guy's played Bay Hill and he didn't mention that in the list.
I forgot Bay Hill. Number 2, Bay Hill. Yeah.
There we go.
Isleworth, Bay Hill. Yeah. And then Orange County National.
There we go. I was like, man, that must have been an emotional round for you.
It really was, but yeah, it's a lovely course. So good chat, mate. Yeah, nice one.
All right.
Par 3 time. Go do this one.
Next question for you, Andy, is what are the types of buyers that you're seeing? Obviously, there's a ton of different buyers, right? Every agent is going to attract, or their business attracts different types of buyers. But what are you mainly seeing as where other Floridians are like within the state, right? So are they coming from Sarasota? Or are they, where in Florida are they coming to?
Where in Florida? A lot from Miami and Naples.
Yep.
I think people are getting away from the coastal high value areas and coming to Central Florida where you can get probably a bit more for your money.
And lower carrying costs for sure.
Lower carrying costs, less risk of hurricane damage. I mean, people are coming up from those areas. I think there's a lot of people from Jacksonville way coming down that way as well. Jacksonville, St. Augustine. So it seems to be everyone's coming to Orlando. We're still relatively not cheap, but I guess well priced compared to the coastal areas. And
especially like Clermont area, right? It's like then Haines City. That's one of the, and again, don't quote me on this, but I had heard that that's one of the more affordable areas to get homeowners insurance
100%.
In the state of Florida. Mainly because of the elevation and
it's shielded by a lot of hills and different elevations. Clermont's good location for that. And the prices there are still quite cheap. It's getting busier. So we've now got Mineola that's expanding. There's a brewery called the Crooked Can that's getting massive.
I love the Crooked Can. We used to do bike races.
They're
up
big
there.
hubs now in Mineola. It's massive. It's not finished yet. There's going to be huge. There's loads of stuff going on there. So it's getting busy up that Turnpike corridor, past Winter Garden up towards Claremont. It's getting busy now. So it's becoming really popular. Yeah, some good locations up there. Some good deals to be had.
So I think they're always. I remember like during the short sale days, like 08, 09, 010, what you could get in Haines City and Clermont, like massive monster houses for like 120k.
Yeah,
back in the day,
and even Ponciana. Like, I've actually set the photos for today as we're sitting there, but listing a house, a 3-bed with a pool on 3/4 acre for 280. And someone
it's unheard of.
Yeah, someone listing that in Ponciana, that'll probably sell overnight. I mean, it's so cheap that people just snap them up. Yeah, it's hard to find anything livable and decent for under 3 here now. You can still get some good deals in Northport. But again, it's on the upside, a lot of houses all got new roofs and stuff after the hurricanes. You can still get a cheap house and not have to stress about the roof and things like that. So if I was coming down the opposite way, where would I buy to invest if I wanted a little rental on Airbnb? Rental Airbnb, you're limited to really, I would just say Northwest Bradenton. Right. So that way there's way less restrictions and rules. And your minutes from Anna Maria Island. So there's always people that want to go to Anna Maria Island, but they don't want to pay the Airbnb prices on island. So it's like, okay, you can be 15 minutes off and drive over and do it that way. So that's kind of my short-term rental area that I would personally recommend. Other than that, there are some condominiums on Siesta Key that will allow short-term rentals. And or you could do a multi-family purchase, right? And then just
do the weeklies, as long as it's in the city area. But yeah, I'm more of, when I work with investors and they're asking me about that, and if they don't like Northwest Bradenton, then it's really just got to kind of pull the trigger on an annual.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. All right, we're at the turn. Let's go and hit the 10 one.
Hole 10, let's go. So what trends are you seeing in your marketplace and where the market's going as to what buyers are wanting, whether it be like multi-generational, what's moving and what's not?
Do you know what? The expensive stuff's actually moving. I don't think economical factors really matter to the wealthy, right? So they're going to move when they want to move, not when the market tells them they should move. Windermere sees lots of job moves. So job relocations have no impact on whether the market's good, bad, or indifferent. People move anyway. So a lot of the buyers I'm working with recently have all been around $1 million to $2 million. That seems to be my sort of sweet spot at the moment. But I'm seeing some big, last month, a deal went under contract of 14.6 million and closed within 30 days. From 2 days on market. It's insane. I mean, we've just had Anton Griezmann, from the French national team, just signed for London City. My friend just sold him a house for 6.7 million. So we've got people like that, sports stars, doctors, people who just come to Orlando with so much money. I mean, you do here as well, don't get me wrong, but they're coming there and it doesn't really matter about my interest rate a little bit more, or, the insurance has gone up, right? So we're getting lots of people coming.
There's a lot of cash at the end of the day as well, right?
So you've also got that market where you'd say your average family home, 500 to 900,000, have got 2, 3, 4% rates that they want to give them up. So that market is still a little bit stagnant.
Yes.
So I guess it's everywhere.
Similar to here, so obviously 3 to 5 million's moving quite well, depending on the area and the condition of the house. But yeah, we're seeing similar on the high end. Bread and butter is on fire right now. The price range, and again, depending on location, is odd to me, is anything like in the mid to high sevens to the low millions is really slow, because that's where everyone's financing. And I think that is just a mortgage payment that people don't have the appetite for.
Although ironically, I listed one in Winter Garden, so next to Windermere. We put it on the market for 750. We did an open house the first weekend with 45 people for the door. It was almost like post-COVID numbers. It was incredible. We sold it full asking price first day. So some things just hit the market and they go, others just sit there for a while. But generally the $1 million plus market is, for example, I just put the house on the market yesterday. I had 3 showings while I was sitting on the golf course. Under 1.1 million, it's like quick turnaround.
So with that being the case, that you're still seeing that, are you seeing an uptick in transactions? Because we are, our March and April numbers were way more than we'd previously seen.
Yeah, definitely. Pendings are definitely up. But also, price reductions are significantly up. But that's turning into deals, right? So house sits in the market for a little while, gets reduced, it sells. So things priced right are still selling. So yeah, we are seeing an uptick, especially now as the schools are out and people are more focused now on moving.
And do you have a season? So I would say our Q1's the biggest prime time for our marketplace snowbird season. Is it the same for Orlando, or are you kind of less seasonal, just being like a major metro at the end of the day?
I think similar to you, but narrowing it down to a personal level, I can say for the last 3 years, June and December have been my 2 busiest months consistently.
Right.
Which is strange. So I guess you've got the people now, this time of the year, end of Q1, ready to move in for the summer, get the summer out of the way, start a new school. But then you've got people at December just want to move.
They just want to get,
that always seems busy December for me, which is a strange one, but it's good. I like being busy in December.
There you go. So there is a significant amount of similarities between the Sarasota Manatee market and Orlando. Who would have thought?
There you go.
Time to hit some balls. Andy. So next round of questions is, what do the locals do in Orlando to stay away from all the touristy stuff?
What do they do? A lot of them play golf, which we're doing. It's a good question. Also, we've got the lakes where we are, so a lot of people spend time on the lakes. A lot of farmers markets at the weekends. Keep busy. They're really good. That's a good question, because a lot of people I know do have passes for the parks.
Right.
A lot of people spend time there because we get residence discounts. There's lots of lakes, lots of golf. There's lots of places to go out and eat. Lots of trails, bike riding, things to do where we are. But honestly, I'd say a lot of people are out at the parks, the water parks especially. Stuff like that, bike riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot to do, but it's all.
And there's with the farmers markets, is there a lot of like community events like that the local communities put on outside of just a farmers market
so like
and stuff?
Windermere will do like food truck nights. They'll do art shows. They'll do like dog shows and things. They take your dogs and do stuff. Christmas events, obviously, this time of year.
Yep.
There's lots of events throughout the year that Windermere does, and then Winter Garden does as well. So there's plenty of stuff to keep you occupied.
Yeah, I mean, that's like right now we've got the Bayfront Park near downtown Sarasota. It's being redeveloped, but they're doing World Cup watch parties.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
So we can sit outside. They got obviously gonna have a big screen and things like that. But yeah, Sarasota downtown, we've got a farmers market. There's first Friday of every month. There's a big basically block party, and then Waterside and then Lakewood Ranch Main Street. There's again farmers markets, events, food truck rallies, cornhole leagues, all of that stuff.
Tennis leagues. Absolutely. Yeah, plenty of that to do.
All right.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, now you know. All right, as we're finishing up the podcast, we got 2 more holes to play. We're waiting to tee off at a par 3. There's still a group on the green. But Andy, let's do some like hot, quick fire questions.
Good.
All right. Favourite football team?
Everton.
What was your home county in the UK?
Kent, UK.
There you go. Favourite place to eat in Orlando?
Chatham's
Steakhouse, isn't it? That's Steakhouse?
The American place.
Yeah, okay.
President Clinton was there a few weeks ago, so it's a pretty good place.
Nice. Favourite YouTube golf channel?
Rick Shields.
Rick Shields, yeah, legend.
I saw him in Eddie V's.
Oh, no way. Yeah. Oh, when he was over here shooting a bunch of content for his YouTube channel. That's awesome. Yeah. So we're on the 18th hole now. The podcast is almost over. We've been playing at Calusa Country Club in Lakewood Ranch. Andy, I know you probably hate the front nine, but what's your thoughts of the course, the community that's being built here?
I think the course is nice. I mean, it's going to be beautiful once it's done. Obviously, it's not finished yet, but it looks really nice. I mean, if I was in this area, I wouldn't mind living there with the pickleball courts they got, or the amenities they've got on site. The course is relatively cheap to join. There's no hesitation buying here. Really nice place. I like it.
It's the second go around of the first. Well, Lennar have done a few communities. This one's the newest one since Lakewood National, which has the Corn Ferry. So there's 2 courses there. Calusa's got this 18 that we're playing. They've also got a really interesting 12-hole course. But I mean, it's hard to beat the resort lifestyle and features that are here. So
it gives me a villages feel. It almost feels like it should be an over 55s community. That's how the vibe I get for it. But no, it's really nice. So I'm quietly, what's the word I should say? Pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised. There you go. First time on Lakewood Ranch as well.
It is.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Bar Italia later before Andy drives back to Orlando, and hopefully we beat the rain that is definitely about to hit us.
It's about to kill us.
Andy, what's your YouTube?
So it's just Andy Neal, Windermere Realtor.
All right.
You can see home tours and things about Windermere on there.
Send me a link. That'll be in the description below, along with a link to the golf course and the community here. And if you got any questions, reach out. All my information's on my page. I know a lot of you do call me directly on my cell phone. Don't hesitate to do that. That is there. It's not a robo AI phone number. It's me. I don't screen the calls either with any of those silly apps. So I'm easy to get hold of. Like,
do it,
comment, and subscribe. Helps the channel out. There we go.
If you like golf and real estate, it's the place to be.
And this is the end of the first podcast.
Yes.
Should see you on the next one.
Scan the QR code to connect with Darren Dowling. Follow and subscribe for exclusive Florida listings and updates.